I go to have my first ultrasound, and I go with my Matt's sister, Lacey, and they put the thing on my stomach, and they pull it right back off. And I look at Lacey, I said, did you see that? And she's like, uh-huh, white as a ghost, about to pass out. She put it back on. She's like, ma'am, you're having twins. And I'm like, twins? Baby A and baby B.
Wow.
And the whole time I'm still using. Staying at Matt's mom's house a lot because we were cooking dope out there. It was out in the middle of nowhere in a town called North Adams, off on a dirt road. Like, it was a perfect spot.
It's just like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, kind of. In the garage, upstairs, and like we would have to go around and buy the components. Like we'd have other people, hey, we'll give you a quarter gram if you go buy this.
Yeah.
Or, hey, buy us a box of Sudafed, we'll give you a half gram.
Yep.
And it worked every time.
Of course it's going to.
So there were a couple times, like every time we pulled out of the apartment complex, we were getting pulled over. Like the cops knew what we were doing. But we would like buy old toys at yard sales and take the toys apart and put different like components inside these kids' toys and shove them in the kids' trunk or in the trunk.
Yeah.
And the cops would never even think anything of it.
Too much, yeah. We're back again with another great, exciting episode of Get a Grip Podcast. We have Kendra Mertz.
Yes.
Right? From Michigan?
Yes, Hillsdale, Michigan.
Hillsdale, Michigan, which is where? Closest city to?
Jackson, 30 minutes south of Jackson.
Okay.
Yep. And then, I moved to Adrian about a year ago, so I was born and raised in Hillsdale. Now I live in Adrian, and that's about 45 minutes from Toledo.
And you guys just had some snow up there.
Yeah, about
so you
4 inches.
Snow. It's fun.
Yeah.
People, any accidents? People not knowing how to drive?
There was a person in the ditch, and there was no snow, nothing on the road, so it's like, how did it even happen? We don't know, but yeah, we seen one accident.
No damage done? That's good. Glad you were safe. Well, tell me about Michigan, growing up in Michigan, and how your childhood was.
So I had a pretty good childhood. I can't lie about the childhood. We had everything we needed. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad worked full-time. It was my sister and my brother. My dad, who I call my dad, adopted me. He's my stepdad. I don't know my real dad. Story is that some stuff happened with my stepbrother and me, and my dad, disowned me because of it.
Interesting.
Don't really know, don't really care.
Between the two of you, and he just disowned you because of it.
Yes, because his girlfriend that he has now, well, it's his wife now, didn't agree with what I was saying.
Oh. Okay.
So.
That's whinge. Okay.
Yeah, it is what it is.
An aggressive move, but.
So I used to wait by the window, I guess, when I was little and wait for my dad to show up, and he never did, but.
Come home.
I was blessed with my stepdad. He adopted me in 2006.
That's cool. I bet that felt cool.
Yeah, he's who I know as Dad. My mom and him were married till about my 8th grade year. I spent a lot of time with my grandma and grandpa growing up, which is my dad's grandparents, so they were my adopted grandparents.
Okay.
A lot of yard sailing with my grandma. Really good memories there. They passed away when I was about 13, 14 years old, and that's when things kind of started to go downhill.
Your grandparents?
When my grandparents passed away. And then, when my grandma passed away, they fought cancer for a long time, so they were both sick. But about a year after my grandma passed away, my parents got divorced. So I came home from school to my mom cleaning out the house, my dad out of town on a business trip, not knowing what's going on, and my mom's like, pack your shit. We're leaving.
Wow.
And we had no choice but to pack our shit and leave.
And you did.
I left my bed for my dad because my mom took everything. everything.
So but there's nothing you can do. How old are you?
I was like 13, 14,
Yeah,
maybe
and,
15.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
You have to listen to your parents.
Yeah, you can't
So
really do
we
anything.
moved into an apartment in town with my mom. My dad stayed at the house for a while when he got home. My mom started to hang out with different guys, started drinking a lot. It kind of was like a 360 because growing up, my dad was an alcoholic. Let's kind of backtrack there.
Mm-hmm.
My mom didn't drink when we were growing up. My dad did.
Your dad was.
Flipped. And it flopped after the divorce. It completely flopped. It was like night and day difference. My dad got sober, and my mom would have rather spent time with who she was with.
Whoever, yeah, going out partying, doing her.
Riding her motorcycle.
Yep.
My mom and I don't really have a close relationship. We've tried to, but it's very toxic. It's been toxic for a long time. She was very mentally abusive growing up, sometimes physically abusive. I remember one time we lived in Jonesville, which is right outside Hillsdale, and I had a big bedroom. My mom came in and she was upset about something. I don't remember what. And she just started hitting me, like for no apparent reason, just wailing on me. And my dad walked in, like pulled her off of me, said, "If you ever do that again, I'm going to drive you straight to the police station."
We're talking like real deal
like
blows,
punching me
punches.
For no fucking apparent reason.
Wow.
And it had happened at a childhood house twice. I remember her doing it in front of the kitchen sink. But she suffers from mental health issues from herself, so it's whatever. Maybe she just needed to vent, and I was the person she vented. I don't know.
Right.
But so backtrack to the divorce. My mom's going out, so I'm the one. I had to grow up. Like, I had my sister, my brother, my dad. We went to his house Tuesday, Thursday, every other weekend.
Okay. So
and then
to see him sometimes.
Yes.
At least.
And the whole time, like, he drops us off. We're freaking out, not wanting to go back to mom's house. And he's like, "What the hell's going on?" So he calls CPS a couple times because he's like, "Something's going on," and nothing ever happened with it. But it just got to the point where I was always with the kids and she was always out partying. Or she would come home and she would be so fucked up that I could go out.
You're playing mom.
I was playing mom, but then it turned into, okay, well, who gives a shit? I'm going to go out and party too. So I started drinking 14 years old. Used to go 6th, 7th grade. I remember in 7th grade, I snuck alcohol into school in a cherry or a orange crush bottle.
Okay.
And somebody ratted on me. And I had to sit in the library for 3 hours. And then they gave me food. And then the cops showed up and gave me a breathalyzer test.
Why would they telling you for the why? Why do people do that?
I don't know. But I remember the cops came and I had hid it in somebody else's locker because I didn't want to get caught with it.
Smart, yes.
So they searched my locker, didn't find anything. Gave me a breathalyzer. I passed it. And got to...
Damn, they weren't playing.
got to go on about my day. That was 7th grade that I was doing that shit. Used to go before school across the street to the library and smoke and do whatever. I didn't care. I had no...
The telling thing still really is weird to me. That's weirder to me than drinking in 7th grade. To me,
yeah,
as an alcoholic,
yeah,
so mind your own business. Go, what the fuck? Who cares?
So I started going out and partying a lot, drinking. I never was big into smoking weed. All throughout high school, I never really got into it. I got really stoned one time and came home, ate a whole pizza, and laid in my dad's bed. Had to remind myself how to breathe. It was a bad experience. Okay. It took me a long time before I even tried smoking weed again.
Yeah.
But throughout high school, I was a good student. I got good grades. Even with the partying, I was in band, flag corps. I played the piano. I was in orchestra.
Yeah. You did more than me. You did way fucking more than me.
You name it, I was doing it.
I didn't do anything. Shit.
And then my junior year came, and I don't know what happened. I just stopped caring. I stopped going to school. I started hanging out with the wrong crowd, and it just escalated from there.
Partying.
Yep. I met my kid's dad when I was 15. He was
Tall, dark, and handsome.
very tall, dark, and handsome, and he was a bad boy. So, like, I was instantly attracted to him, like, ooh, bad boy, let's go. Like, just enough to make my parents a little bit more mad at me, you know. Acting
Sure.
out, I didn't care.
Even intentionally to upset them.
So, I would, like, tell him I'm going to my friend Tiffany's house, and then we'd end up over at Matt's house. Or, like, I'm going to the store, and then I'd end up at my kid's dad's house. So the sneaking around started very young. It got to the point where my dad found out, put a PPO on him, and was like, "No, you're done."
Oh, damn.
Yes, my dad, he does not fuck around.
That quick.
And so Matt's like, "Okay, done's done," and I'm like, "No, I'm just getting started. Like, you're not gonna stop me from being with who I want to be with."
To be fair, and it's kind of hard to stop a kid that age from doing it. I mean,
So I started sneaking out.
yeah, exactly.
I started running away. I ran away 3 or 4 times when between the ages of 14, 15, 16.
Where would you go, and for how long? Like, where are you?
Just random people's houses. There was the last 2 times I ran away, I literally ran away to the apartments across the street from my dad's house. Like,
so not far, right?
He's
as long as they
freaking
didn't
out.
know where you are.
Yeah, they had no idea
didn't
where I
want them to
was.
know where you
My
were.
sister was freaking out. My brother was freaking out. Everybody was looking for me, and I'm watching them drive by. Like, I did not care. And I met my oldest son's dad. I have 2 different kids' dads.
Okay.
In those midst of sneaking out, running away, I met him through some girl. I don't even remember her name. And we were drinking a lot. And I remember the night that I got caught, the last time I ran away, I was in the apartment with Franklin, is his name, my kid's dad, my oldest son's dad. And he snapped like he was bipolar. And he snapped for no apparent reason and picked me up by my neck. And Matt, my other kid's dad, walked in, and they started going at it. And I pushed Matt into the bathroom. And I'm like, "No, we can't get the cops called. Like, I'm on the run right now. What the fuck are you doing?" Long story short, Franklin left, went home, called my dad.
Perfect.
So he gave my dad the number to where I was. It was back when there was house phones.
Yep.
So the girl's like, "Kendra, it's your dad." And I'm like, "Oh, shit." Okay. He's like, "Just meet me outside." I'm like, "Okay, I'll meet you outside. You know where I'm at." I go outside. I get ready to get in his car.
Get your fucking ass reamed.
You would think.
That's what you
With
would
any
think.
parent, but not with my dad. Like, he's hardcore. Here come the police. I'm on probation. I couldn't get in my dad's car.
Oh.
I had to get in the cop's car.
Oh, nice.
And they took me to the youth home. Backtrack to why I was on probation.
So you did meet him outside. You just didn't really do a whole lot of hanging out.
No, it was no turning back, go straight to
to
jail.
Yeah.
Craziness. But the reason I was on probation is my first job was at McDonald's. And it was Black Friday. And I couldn't cash my check. So my dad gave me his debit card to go Black Friday shopping with my Aunt Gina. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy a cell phone so I can talk to Matt. Perfect in my mind. Dad found out about it. He's like, "No, give me the phone." I'm like, "Fuck you. I paid for the phone. This is my phone. You're not taking it." He's like, "You paid with my debit card." And I'm like, "So?" He's like, "You didn't have permission to use that." And I'm like, "Oh, no, we're not going this way." And he tried ripping the phone from me. I punched the radio, kicked the windshield.
Oh, damn. This is in a car?
In his car, and he drove me straight to the sheriff's department. Jeez. So I was put on probation for malicious destruction of property.
So you saw a lot of courtrooms at a pretty young age.
Yes. So
little overnight jail stints.
No, I didn't actually until the day that Franklin called my dad and I met him outside. Like, I'd been into court like once or twice, but other than that, nothing.
Okay.
So they take me to the youth home, which is like the kid juvie in Hillsdale.
Yep.
It's a home away from home. Like, it's one big room.
Sure it is.
It was a cakewalk. I was the oldest person in there. Like, I helped cook, I helped clean.
Yes, I mean, it's just, yeah.
It was just whatever.
You're just locked up doing nothing.
And then a couple weeks into that, I find out I'm pregnant with my oldest son. So I write a letter to the judge asking for like early release out of the program because 1, I'm pregnant now, and 2, I've been good. I've completed
you've done everything right.
Everything right, because there was like steps you had to take in program
phases.
Yes, phases. Yeah. So the judge let me out early, and at that point in time, I'm like, okay, I'm pregnant. I'm gonna go back to my dad's house. I'm gonna get my shit together. Do good, you know. Lived with him for a little bit.
And he was cool with that.
Yep, my kid's dad lived with him. Okay. Ended up having Xavier my first day of my senior year of high school.
Wow.
So I was young.
Very young.
Very, very young. And you would think maybe I would grow up.
Maybe something would change. Yeah.
No. I was a kid raising a kid.
Yep.
And like, he's been through everything. He's seen me at my worst. He's seen me at my best. Like, he's gone through it all. But, so I'm living at Dad's, going to school, have him, Xavier, still living at Dad's, graduate high school. That was really funny because I went back and was doing like the alternative high school, just online classes, hurry up, get all my credits.
Yeah.
And the day that I finished, my principal was actually my band teacher. He went from band teacher to principal at the alternative at one point in time. And he's like, Kendra, I still have your 2011 diploma. Do you want it? And I'm like, yep, I'm good. I'm done.
Wow.
So he gave me my original diploma, even though I was a super senior.
Yeah.
And I went home and showed my dad, and he was so surprised. He chased his wife down the driveway, like, she did it, she did it. So that was exciting. And then things were good for a while. I was doing good, living with Dad.
Were you cleaned up when you got out?
Yeah, like I wasn't drinking.
You weren't doing anything?
Nope. Was sober throughout the whole pregnancy. Didn't do anything.
Good. Yeah.
Ended up moving out of my dad's house and moving in with Franklin's mom.
Okay. What's up with her? What's her deal?
Her deal, I don't really. She wasn't a mom.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to put it. She was never around. She was always working. So it's just like me and Franklin in this house, to the point where like the lights would get shut off, the water would get shut off, like in the middle of summer, like the ceiling's peeling because it's so hot, and Mom nowhere around. And then Franklin started hanging out with bad people, and they started shaking bacon in the basement. Oh. And I'm pregnant. Like, no, this shit can't be happening.
Can you please not cook meth in front of me?
And nobody would believe me. So we just like let it go, and finally, after being up for so many days and getting sick, Franklin's like, I'm never doing that again. I'm like, okay, yeah, that was stupid, wasn't it? So we stayed together for a little bit, and then it was a lot. Like, being with his mom was a lot. He would run off and hang out. Like, we were kids. We were doing kid shit.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where I started staying with friends and started pawning Xavier off on, like, my great aunt.
Okay.
Or my aunt, his great aunt.
Yep.
And, like, Franklin's aunts and Franklin's sister.
It's like he became almost an inconvenience in your way of what you really wanted to do.
Yes, I wanted to go out and drink and party.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
You weren't done.
I was not done. Not at all. Like, I was just getting started.
Yeah.
I went through a drinking phase from like 18 to once I got to 21, it wasn't fun anymore. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
It is a little less. It is a little less fun.
It's something about.
Well, you're allowed to now. So.
Yeah, it was something about breaking the law, drinking underage that was amusing to me. It was to a point where I was drinking like a half gallon of vodka a night.
Damn.
Waking up in the middle of fields, like, how the fuck did I get here? I had an apartment in Reading, a little town, and I went to a party across the street. Don't remember what happened. Woke up the next morning with a staple in my foot.
Nice.
Not knowing how I
cleanly
got...
stapled into your foot?
Yes. Not knowing how I got home, so I hobbled across the street like, what the hell went on here? They had to pull it out of my foot. One party was off on a back road, and I ended up staying the night at the kid's house. Woke up to the house being raided.
So you're drinking into a blackout every time?
Yes, every time. And then
Wait, there was a raid. Yeah.
So
you're in the middle of a raid?
Didn't know this kid from Adam. I was very... How do you say this without making it sound? I was a whore. Like, I slept around. I'll admit it. Like, I didn't give a shit.
You were promiscuous?
Yes. I did not give a shit. So I was hanging out with the kid that threw the party, and his stepdad, like, stole a trailer full of wire. It was a sting. It was a setup with the sheriff's department. And there was a GPS. Yep. There was GPS on the truck. And woke up the next morning. Ma'am, you need to come outside. Ma'am. I'm like... Who the fuck are you? So, yeah, that was my first raid.
Wow.
But I still partied, and it got worse. And I started dabbling with, like, Vicodin, Percocets.
Where were you finding those at?
Just friends had them.
Just around.
They were around real big in Hillsdale.
Yeah. The 30s? Or are we talking 5s and 10s?
5, 10s, 30s, you name it.
Okay.
You could get
Didn't
it.
matter.
Then I got big into Xanax and drinking. I remember the last...
Oh, God.
Yes.
What a terrible combination.
So I remember the last time I took Xanax. I was with a guy named Jesse, and I had my own apartment and was doing all right, still taking Xanax, drinking. He dropped me off at the bar to hang out with my friends and was going to come pick me up later. I had prescription for Xanax because I went to this doctor and was like, I can't sleep. Like, my mind races a million miles an hour and my anxiety goes through the roof. I need some Xanax. And
You straight asked?
Yes, and this doctor prescribed me. It was only 1 milligram 3 times a day, but that's 90.
That's a lot. No, that's a lot.
So the doctor has since gotten in trouble.
Yeah, I bet.
But I was getting them, and I was eating handfuls of them, not caring.
Yeah, because you got a bottle of 90. Yeah, that's
and if I run out,
bottle.
like, they go for cheap. They were going for, like, $1 or $2 back then.
Yeah.
Cheap as shit.
Yeah, cheap.
So, I remember...
Now you're really blacking out. Now you're really remembering nothing.
Nothing. And the last thing I remember is taking a handful, probably 3 or 4, of my pills, walking into the bathroom, meeting up with my friend, and then I woke up the next day at home like, what the fuck, to Jesse packing his stuff and leaving. He's like, I'm done with you. Like, you did it again. You blacked out. Your drinking's out of control. The bartender brought you home after supposedly 2 guys were trying to get you to go with them, and you weren't wanting to go with them.
Oh, wow.
He's like, if it wasn't for the bartender, you would have been raped.
So, yeah, something bad would have happened.
Yes.
More than likely.
So that's when I was like, okay, yep. Like, I'm not losing this relationship, and I'm, like, obviously being stupid. So I stopped with the drinking and the Xanax, and I did good.
That was it. That was one of your little mini bottoms.
Yep. So so the whole time I'm doing all this stuff, my oldest son is with my aunt. And has been for most of the time. Mm-hmm. I take him back, which uproars a whole shit show in my family.
I'm sure.
Taking him out of a stable environment, I shouldn't have done it. I was being selfish.
Yep.
But at that point in time, I didn't know any better. I was still a kid, and I wanted to be mom. So I got him back. Was going to school, doing really good. Got a townhouse apartment. Was doing great. And then Matt gets out of prison. He went to prison for delivery of cocaine or something. He got set up and did like 4 undercover buys.
Oh, damn.
So he got 2.5 to 10. And when he got out, I looked at
2.5 to 10.
Yep.
Was the sentence?
Yes.
Oh, that is a shitty sentence.
So when he got out, it was like something flicked in me. And I looked at Jesse and I was like, bye. Like, we're done. You need to go. Matt's coming home. And he's like, what? You haven't even... No, I've barely talked to him, but I've talked to him a couple times. Like, he's going to come here. And so Jesse moves out, and my friend comes and starts staying, and I start hanging out with Matt. And Matt's doing good. He's working. I'm like, okay, yeah, this will work.
Sure.
The whole time my parents, well, my dad and my aunt, they're finding reasons. Like, CPS always at, like, she's not in a stable house, but they never found anything. So I kept Xavier, and he would, like, go to my aunt's on the weekend because I still wanted them to have that bond.
Yeah, of course.
It would have been a Thursday. Matt and I would have took... Oh, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. We were doing good, working. Little did I know Matt was trading boxes of Sudafed for money on the side.
Oh.
Because he wasn't making that much working where he was working.
He was boosting Sudafed and then selling it back
Yes.
before they took it behind the counter.
Yeah. Well, no, this was when, like, you had to sign for it.
Oh.
So you would go up to the pharmacy, show your ID. You would have to sign a thing stating that you weren't buying Sudafed to manufacture meth.
Not pay for it there.
And then
not pay for it at the pharmacy and then walk out with them, or did he?
No, he paid for it. He would. It was like $6-7
So he was
for
just the guy that would run around and grab all the Sudafed.
at the beginning. Yes, and that turned into him dabbing, like dillying and dabbling and into the meth. And that turned into, well, you're having all the fun. I want to try this, and I started doing with it.
And you had been totally sober. Damn.
Yep. So, I mean, I dillied and dabbled with Percocets with Jesse for a little bit because I had a miscarriage. And instead of getting help, I was just drowning my sorrows with pills, getting high. Then I got endometriitis, which is like an infection and like cysts, and I was in and out of the hospital a lot, and every time I would go to the hospital, I would get pain pills.
Yep.
Like, easy peasy.
Didn't matter what it was.
Didn't matter. So it got to the point where I was getting hooked on the pain pills. To the point where I would go to the doctor.
These are prescription.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But now you're dependent on them.
It got so bad I was getting IV Dilaudid. I've never shot up.
Yeah.
I've always been too afraid to, but
IV Dilaudid is incredible.
It was incredible.
It is incredible.
It was like the best thing ever, and I was hooked.
It's my number 1 or 2, honestly.
So I kept going back to the ER, and they would give me IV Dilaudid and send me home with pain pills, and that's
for this whatever you had going on.
For the miscarriage.
Yeah, that.
And it created an infection because my body didn't realize that I had miscarried.
Okay.
So on top of all that, like, it was just pain pills here and there.
Gotcha.
And then I had gotten sober with Matt at the beginning and wasn't messing around with pain pills because he's like, I just got out of prison.
Yeah.
Like, but
no,
he was still messing around, just keeping it from me.
Yep.
So the first time I did a line of meth with him, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember it like it was yesterday.
You loved it.
I loved it.
That's so weird because I was such a downer guy like you. I love Xanax. I love Percocet. I loved all that shit, all the pills. But I did not like meth at all. I hated it. I loved it. Total.
See, and I kind of feel that way about heroin. I did heroin once, and it didn't really. I don't know what happened.
It wasn't good, or yeah.
Because the dude I did it with was nodding out, and I'm just like.
Okay, so must have been decent, or at least.
I don't know if I didn't do enough. I don't know, but after that, the Fetty started coming around, and I was, honestly, I was too scared. Too scared to do it.
I would be too, honestly.
So
I don't know if I was shooting dope. I barely missed it. I got sober in 2016, so I barely missed the fentanyl rush. Like, barely. I don't know what would have happened. Like,
It's scary.
Yeah.
And scary.
It is. Doesn't take much.
So that started, and the meth use started, and I still had custody of my oldest, and I was using with him, like, go hide in the bathroom, get high, obviously. And then it was a Thursday. Matt and I took him to a park. Friday, he woke up with a bruise on his butt. Still to this day, I don't know if it's from him going down the metal slide and hitting his tailbone. I don't know if Matt hit him when I was fucked up.
Did you ask him?
I don't think Matt could ever do that, but you never know. There was people in and out of the house.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. Long story short, he ended up with a bruise on his butt. I sent him to my aunt's house. Was supposed to get him back that Sunday. Got a call from CPS.
Yep.
You need to meet us at the hospital. And I'm like, okay, great. So I go to the hospital. I refuse to take a drug test. I'm like, no, get a warrant. Like, I'm not taking a drug test for you. Like, get fucked. And
when you're totally fucked.
So,
yeah, your whole charade falls apart. You take a drug test.
Well, it was already falling apart.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
Xavier is going into emergency care with your aunt. You no longer have custody to him. You'll have a court date. And I'm just like, it all hit me like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I'm losing my kid. I didn't even do anything. Failure to protect is what I lost him for.
Interesting.
So, drug use got worse.
Yep. More time. All the time.
It got way worse. It turned into, we started shaking and baking, cooking. It was easier that way.
Well, yeah.
And we got to use more.
You
so
do it. You could sell it. You can use it.
We always had money. We always had dope. Like, you name it, we had it. I lived the life when I was high. I'm not going to lie about that. Then I find out I'm pregnant. I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. So.
Is this who's baby dad?
Matt. This is with Matt.
Okay.
And long story short, I go to have my first ultrasound, and I go with my Matt's sister Lacey, and they put the thing on my stomach and they pull it right back off. And I look at Lacey, I said, did you see that? And she's like, white as a ghost, about to pass out. She put it back on. She's like, ma'am, you're having twins. And I'm like, twins. Baby
shit.
A and baby B.
Wow.
And the whole time I'm still using.
Yeah, things are not good.
No, I was.
Not a good time for twins. No.
So we had moved in with Matt's mom. I had a subsidized apartment because I had Xavier. So I was getting paid to live in these apartments every month. They gave me a check to pay my utilities. Like, I didn't have to work. It was stupid.
It's
food
weird.
stamps,
So
like
weird.
$600 a month in food stamps. I was eating steaks.
Yeah.
I would love to eat steaks like I was eating
no shit.
now.
No shit. Yeah.
Back then, like, it's crazy. But we're at the apartment, getting high, pregnant with the twins, staying at Matt's mom's house a lot because we were cooking dope out there. It was out in the middle of nowhere in a town called North Adams, off on a dirt road. Like, it was a perfect spot.
It's just like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, kind of. In the garage, upstairs, and like, we would have to go around and buy the components. Like, we'd have other people, hey, I will give you a $1/4 gram if you go buy this.
Yeah.
Or, hey, buy us a box of Sudafed, we'll give you a ½ gram.
Yep.
And it worked every time.
Of course it's going to.
So there were a couple times, like, every time we pulled out of the apartment complex, we were getting pulled over. Like, the cops knew what we were doing. But we would, like, buy old toys at yard sales and take the toys apart and put different, like, components inside these kids' toys and shove them in the kids' trunk. Or in the trunk.
Yeah.
And the cops would never even think anything of it.
Too much, yeah.
We had stuffed it in socks and put it, like, in the air vent, in the hood, like, stupid stuff. Like, we hid it good.
Well, if it worked, then...
It worked, and then we went...
Stupid.
Yeah, one time, we were at a little hometown grocery store buying components, and I had gone to the bathroom and walked out, and Matt's like, the cops are here, don't freak out. And I'm like, what do you mean the cops are here? He's like, just watch that guy over there. He's going to follow us, and he's going to put random stuff in his cart, and he's like, it's the cops. I'm like, bullshit. And I started watching this guy.
You guys tweaking right now?
Yeah.
You tweaking the fuck
like,
out?
We're high as shit.
Have you been up
and
for a couple days?
Yes.
Okay.
And like, we went there to buy a cold pack for the nitrate in it to.
I was going to say, how often do you have to, like, when you cook meth the way you were cooking it, because you didn't have a lab, right?
No, we didn't.
So how often are you having to get new parts and pieces to cook meth?
A couple times a week. He would hide, like, he would only take like a quarter cup of lye with him, and then keep like certain things at certain places, so there wasn't components all in one place.
That could be a
And then he
charge.
would have like his brother or sister pick it up and bring it to him.
Okay.
And because in order to get caught with a meth lab, you had to have 3 components.
Okay.
And so we always would try to not have the 3
Together. Yes.
But that day we were going to get a cold pack, and this guy like literally would put random stuff in his cart, and I'm like, okay, well, we have to buy more than just a cold pack. So we got like hot dogs and a pop, and Matt's like, well, we got dope on us, Kendra. We can't get pulled over with the dope. He's like, I know so-and-so lives next door at these apartments. Let's go over there and see if he's home. He'll get high with us. So we go next door and smoke all the dope that we had.
Did they follow you? Did you see a car?
Yes. Oh, yeah. So backtrack. We go out of the store, and he's like, we're going to sit in the car. So we sit in the car, and here comes that cop. Gets into the undercover cop car and waits.
Was it an
It was definitely
car?
the undercover cop car.
Deep tent?
Like
really dark tent?
The dark tint, the lights at the visor.
Yeah.
It was an Impala.
Yep.
So we go next door, smoke the dope, get rid of the batteries that we had. We had charcoal fluid batteries. We had 3 components that day. Like, if we would have been pulled over, we would have been hit.
Would have been a wrap.
So we go get high, and the whole time the cops are like, we see this car driving back and forth, and we're like, what the fuck? Just leave us alone. And
persistent motherfuckers.
Like, finally, Matt's like, all right, well, we ain't got no more dope. Like, we got to go. We got to go do what we're going to go do. And we pull out, and we get right outside of city limits, and here come the cops. Pull us over.
Okay.
And we're like, and I'm pissed off.
Non-undercover.
And then here come the undercover car afterwards.
Okay.
So the city cop pulled us over, and then the undercover came.
Okay.
They get out of the car, blah, blah, blah. So I get out of the car, and I break the ice pack that we had bought to go cook the dope. And I put it on my shoulder, grab my purse, and I sit on the curb while they're tearing this apart. And they're like, we know you got shit in here, Matt. We know you do. And the whole time I'm like, just keep searching. Just keep searching. They never even acknowledged that I had the cold pack on my arm.
Was the plan to say you
they
were hurt?
Never,
you had an injury or something?
I hurt my shoulder. They never searched us, nothing. They just searched the car.
Interesting.
And they didn't find anything, so they let us go. And that had happened a couple times.
I bet they were pissed.
Oh, yes, and it got worse every time. The city cops started messing with us to the point where every time we pulled out, we were getting pulled over.
You can't deal like that.
And
you just can't.
So we kind of backed up.
Yeah.
Matt was on parole, so he would get put in rehab for failing drug tests. The whole time, remind you, I'm still pregnant. So I'm using...
With twins.
With twins. Getting high. The only time I was sober during the pregnancy is when Matt was in lockup.
Damn.
So...
That's amazing to me that you could turn it off like that for that little bit of time.
Well, I didn't have it. I wasn't going to go searching for it because it was that point where people were... like, thought they knew what they were doing, and you would smoke some shit that would turn black, and...
Yeah.
Like,
people fucking up the cooks, and...
people going, like, schizophrenic because of bad dope.
Yeah.
Wasn't
worth it.
It wasn't worth it to me, and I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So, he gets out, and I have the kids. They're born at 29 weeks. I wake up that morning, I stand up, and something goes down my leg, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm huge, mind you. Even though I'm still using, I'm like huge. So I call my mom.
Twins.
Yeah, I call my mom, and I tell her what happened. She's like, oh, the baby's probably just kicked your bladder. You probably just peed on yourself. She's like, you'll be fine. And I had been on bed rest from having so many contractions from obviously using. And, like, the doctors didn't know that I was using. I didn't, but they probably knew.
Yeah, I'm sure they could tell.
Exactly.
Sure.
I looked like shit.
Yeah.
So they were born that night. Matt's sister drove me to the emergency room. That was a fun ride. I was supposed to go to Jackson, which was about a 40-minute ride, and I'm like, I'm not going to make it. Go to Hillsdale. I was there. My mom walked in and caught my son and unwrapped the umbilical cord around his neck.
Holy.
And 9
fuck.
minutes later, she's screaming, there's a butt! My daughter came out breech. And she didn't breathe for a minute and a half after she was born. They were life-flighted to Toledo Children's Hospital. And they stayed there until the end of December.
Wow.
They were born September 30th, so they were in the NICU for almost 2.5 months.
Jeez.
During that time, I still had custody to them when they were in the NICU, but I was still getting high. Never stayed at the hospital with them. I was always more worried about what Matt was doing, how I was going to get high, like what everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
That I went down and visited them, but you can't stay at a hospital when you're getting, like, what are you going to do? Go in the bathroom and get high? Like, it's just not a feasible.
It's unmanageable, and you don't care.
And
really.
I didn't care.
Don't care.
I knew they were getting taken care of. They were under the best. Like, I did not care.
I'm sure in your head you were like, "Oh, I got a little more time. This buys me a little bit more time."
That's when the social service people called me from the hospital. They asked why I hadn't been coming to see them and staying with them. She's like, you could have stayed in the Ronald McDonald house. Like, everything would have been paid for. I said, because I knew my kids were going to test positive. I knew my kids were going to be taken away from me. So it was me, like, shielding the hurt because I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Jaden, my twin son, he was born first. He was born 2 pounds, 10 ounces.
Wow.
My daughter was born 3 pounds, 4 ounces. They're amazing, gorgeous children now. But
wow.
Jaden tested positive for meth. Nevaeh tested positive for amphetamines. CPS got involved.
Yep.
The day CPS came out to Matt's mom's house to tell me that they were going to take jurisdiction over the twins, we were shaking a bottle upstairs when CPS starts banging on the door.
Oh.
And Matt's like freaking out. Go downstairs. So I go outside and stand on the porch and talk to the lady. And I'm like, get a warrant. I'm not taking a drug test for you. Like, get fucked. We've already gone through this. Obviously, you know what's going on. I took an Adderall. How about that? And went to court. Obviously, I failed. They took the kids. They were released from the hospital into foster care. Damn. They were in foster care for about 6-7 months. And the whole time, I'm still using pills. Taking drug tests for CPS, using pills. But
You're failing these tests just left and right, and
I wasn't failing them in their eyes because I had prescriptions.
Oh.
So right. Even though I was misusing them, right. Buying the drugs, the pills off the street,
you had your prescription.
I had my prescription, so I was still clean in their eyes. I wasn't. I
see. Yep.
Not even close to being clean. So I got the kids back when I was still high.
Wow.
So get them back. My CPS case closed February 2015. June 2nd, 2015, we're getting raided.
Oh, boy.
In that short amount of time, I had relapsed on meth because I was afraid to withdraw from the pills. Because I had withdrawn once before, and it was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Like, Felt like stuff was crawling all over me. My
Fucking
legs.
terrible.
It was horrible. And I was so afraid to do that again. I'm like, no, I'm getting high on meth. Like, I'm not withdrawing, and just one for the other. Stupid.
It doesn't really help to do uppers in place of downers when you're withdrawing.
So
I found, at least.
I ended up actually that night laid in bed, and my kid's dad had to rub my back until I went to sleep. I ended up falling asleep that night because I just could not take it. But woke up the next day
exhausted.
like, let's go. Back on dope. Back on meth. That escalated into us cooking more.
Even after the raid?
No, this is before the raid.
Okay.
This is from like February to June.
Okay.
And it just got crazy. And the day that we got raided, I was in the shower, and Matt comes running upstairs with one of my kids, beating on the shower door. The cops are here. They're like, what do we do? And I'm like, I'm in the fucking shower. What do you want me to do? So I get out of the shower and in a towel, go downstairs, and I let the cops in. Like, there's nothing in my apartment. Like, whatever, I'll talk to you. And then here comes CPS. And I'm like, fuck, here we go.
Right.
I'm like, get out of my house. Like, get fucked. I'm not taking a drug test. Bye.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're not doing anything. So what had happened is this guy and this girl, they were a toxic couple. Like, always fighting. And he would come hide out at the apartment or the trailer where we were cooking dope to get away from this crazy bitch.
Okay.
And she got mad that we were hiding him out, and she called and turned us in for cooking dope.
Cool.
Called CPS on us, said we were doing it with the kids there. Mind you, we didn't do it with the kids there. We pawned the kids off to the neighbor and would pay the neighbor dope to babysit.
Jeez.
So
Nice setup there.
I mean,
Yeah.
It was perfect back then, but now I'm like, why would I do something like, why would I trust somebody like that to watch my children?
Yeah.
I did not care. I had one thing on my mind, and that was getting high.
Yeah. You sound like you're kind of like me, because I had to be taken away physically to stop. I could not stop on my own.
So
it was just too hard. I couldn't.
Yeah, it took me going to jail to have, like, that's what made me stop.
Yeah.
You would think we'll get there.
Yeah, it takes time.
So CPS and the cops leave because I'm like, come back with a warrant. I'm not taking a drug test. Matt's like, no, I'm not taking a drug test. They leave. We freak out. Like, we know what's coming. We know, like, shit's about to hit the fan.
You got one option.
So we take and drop the kids off next door, and we run.
Oh, okay.
And
okay, I thought we were gonna try and get clean together or something.
No. We took off.
Okay.
And we're getting ready to pull out of the apartment complex where I was living, and about maybe 5 minutes down the road is where we were cooking dope. Like, you would pull out, turn left, and hop, skip, and a jump, and you were there. We were getting ready to pull out. Matt's like, go left, go left. He's like, I didn't clean up the mess last night. I'm like, you didn't what? He's like, I didn't clean up the mess. I'm like, so there's a bottle and everything sitting down at the trailer. He's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck, we got to go take care of it before the cops show up. We pull in, there's a sheriff sitting in the driveway.
Oh, my God.
And, like,
you shit a brick.
I'm like, fuck. So we checked the mail, and then, like, it was a bunch of trailers. So you would pull in, and you would go back and around, and there was, like, a turnaround, and you could go back out. We sat back there like, what the fuck are we going to do? I'm like, well, we got to leave. We can't just sit back here. Like, I'm driving. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, 3 turns. We only need 3 turns. I'm like, this cop's going to follow us. We pull out, and then here comes the undercover cop car. And I'm like, here we go. And I hurry up, speed, and they're, like, trailing us, but not to a point to where they're going to stop us. We throw the dope out the window. We keep going, and they turn around. They just, like, let us go. And I'm like, that's weird.
That is weird.
What's going on?
Yeah.
There's shit in that trailer that will get us put away. Like, what in the fuck? They sat there until they could obtain a search warrant.
Jesus.
And They raided it June 2nd.
They literally pulled a legitimate Breaking Bad. That is a legitimate scene in Breaking
Is
Bad.
it? I've watched bits and pieces.
Walt and Jesse are in the trailer, and Hank blocks them in with his cruiser until he could obtain a warrant.
Yes. So the way they got the search warrant is they tried peeking in the windows. They smelt a smell. And then there was, you know how like you have to break the Sudafed out of the
packs.
Packs. There was packs of what looked like Sudafed in the back in the burn pit where we had burned. So that's how they got the warrant. And they went through the trash can. So they raided that.
They had more than enough.
More than enough.
Yeah.
But what they do is they raid it and they take pictures and then they send it to like the Michigan State Police Crime Lab and they destroy the evidence because they found there was a bottle, the smoke bottle, like everything. It was a lab. They found everything. The next day, so they raided that during the day, and at 12:01 a.m., they kick in the my apartment door. I get a phone call, Kendra, they just raided your apartment. You got to come get your kids. I'm like, I'm not driving in there. You fucking got to be out of your mind. Like, no, we were in Jackson at the time trying to figure out, like, we had no dope, no money. Like, we were at our lowest, trying to figure out how we were going to get enough gas to make us back into Hillsdale. Like, digging for change in the car to put gas in our car. We made it back to Hillsdale. Parked at, like, there was a couple apartment complexes, and his sister lived in one, and it just happened to be across the street from where my dad lived.
Okay.
So we park next door, and we go through this trail, and his sister hides us out. Couple hours go by. Matt's like, the whole time, don't use your phone, like, because they're going to ping us for the location. Yep. So we take the batteries, the SIM cards, everything out of the phone. Couple hours go by. Here comes spotlights into the windows. So we're, like, crawling around on the floor, trying not to, like, make our shadows go in front of the windows because all the cops are sitting outside. Like, they know where we're at. And finally, I'm just like, the kids are still at the daycare.
Yeah.
Like,
what the fuck? What about the kids?
And I look at Matt and I'm like, I have to call my mom. Like, I have to. They can't stay where they're at. He's like, whatever. You do what you got to do. So I put my phone and my SIM card and shit back in and I call my mom. She picked up a third shift. She was a CNA at the time. So she was at work. She picks up the phone and she's like, what's going on? I said, Mom, they just kicked in my apartment door. I need you to come get my kids. And she was oblivious to the fact that I was using. Like, she had thought I was sober. Wow. My mom was a big enabler to me. Really? So her and her boyfriend, Jim, at the time, she leaves work, goes and picks him up, and they drive to Hillsdale. They live in Adrian. It's about a 40-minute drive. I take the phone, I undo the phone again, take the battery out, let a little bit of time go by. The whole time the cops are still shining the apartment, and we're still, like, crawling around on the floor, hiding out. And then it got to the point where I'm like, well, I have to call and make sure she got him. So I call my mom. I'm like, Mom. She's like, we're at Kelsey's house getting the kids. Hello, this is Todd Moore, Sheriff's Department. Yep. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yep. My mom handed the phone to the sheriff. And I was like, you know what? I'll make you a deal. I'll meet you at Cherry Tree Apartments if you let me say goodbye to my kids. I knew I was going to jail. So my Jim, my mom's boyfriend, he drives and meets me at Cherry Tree. I leave Matt, leave everybody, and I go and turn myself in. He takes me to the apartment where my kids are. The head of, like, Omni, which Omni is our drug and task force or whatever, they were in the apartment. And my kids are running around, and I got to say goodbye to them, but they ripped my daughter out of my arms to put me in handcuffs. So trauma for them started young. Trauma for me, it was, like, traumatic. Yeah. Put me in the back of the cop car. I go to jail. Operating, maintaining, possession, and delivering and manufacturing.
Ooh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Yep. So I'm in there, and then they pull us into they separate Matt and I. Yep. Because as I'm turning myself in to meet my stepdad, Jim, Matt's calling my phone like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, dude, just
Yeah.
we're caught.
It's over.
Like it's over.
It's over, dog.
So he called one of the other sheriffs and he met up with them, but he got to jail before I did because I went to see the kids.
Right. Okay.
So I walk into the jail in my handcuffs. He's in the holding cell. I'm in tears, and all I could say to him is, they took him. They're back in foster care. And then they put me in this room, and I just bawl. Like, all I can do is cry.
Interrogation room?
No, it was like, almost like a drunk tank room.
Okay.
Before the interrogation room.
Okay.
And then they come get me after a couple hours, and they put me in the interrogation room and tried to do the good cop, bad cop. Matt turned on you, said it was all you. I said,
Yep.
Bullshit. Bring him in here. I'd like to see him say that. Like, no, that's not what happened. And
that's one thing they're not going to do.
So then they started saying, like, oh, we're going to take you to the hospital and draw your blood to see where your levels are, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I admit to using the meth. Obviously, look at me.
Yeah, right.
And
I'm a user. That's it.
So that's what I ended up initially finally getting charged with. But so we're out. No, we're not on bond. My mom, I was in jail for like 4 days. Slept the whole time.
Yeah, I bet.
A couple weeks prior to going to jail, I have to backtrack. I had taken a pregnancy test and found out I was pregnant with my youngest. So I'm in jail, 3 felony charges, pregnant, withdrawing. Like, my life is crumbling down. $150,000 bond. Like, how am I going to get out? I'm not talking to my dad so I'm blowing up my mom's phone once I'm up and like, you need to come get me. Finally, she borrowed money from one of her friends, and they went through a bail bondsman and
work something out.
And I end up getting out. I sell my car and work something out with a bail bondsman to get Matt out.
Okay. Wow, that was really big of you.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like, we were in it together.
Yeah.
Through thick or thin.
Yeah.
He gets out. 2 weeks later, he's cooking dope again, so I revoked his bond. But before that happened, we were going to one of his court hearings because, like, they didn't make our court hearings on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
And we walk into district court, and one of the ladies working behind the desk is like, Kendra, come here. And I walk, she's like, you better get out of here. The cops are waiting for you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, they issued another set of warrants for you. I'm like, what the fuck?
For what?
Because they waited till 12:01 to raid my apartment. After they raided the trailer, they had a second indictment because it was a new day.
Oh my God. I have never heard that in my life.
It's Hillsdale for you.
That is
so I run out of
so grimy.
Yes, I run out of the court. I like run over to my dad and Matt, and I'm like, Margot said I have warrants out. Like, I have to get out of here. The cops are coming. She's like, they're waiting.
Yeah.
They know I'm going to be here with Matt. So I run and hide. And my dad used to have like a 40 Econoline van with the bucket seats and then like the back.
Yep.
I'm hiding. Like, I moved the back seat down and I'm underneath the back seat hiding. Like, I'm not going back to jail. I just got out. Like, what the fuck? End up, I had a lawyer at that time. My dad got me a lawyer.
Good for you, because you needed one.
We couldn't get a hold of him. So he goes and hides me out at my Uncle Jason's house. And, like, the whole time I'm peeking out the windows, like, waiting for the cops to show up, thinking, like, they know where I'm at. And finally I get a hold of my attorney, and he's like, well, you got one of 2 choices. Turn yourself in or keep running. I'm like, okay, well, let me get my bond figured out, and then I'll turn myself in.
Yeah.
Ended up turning myself in, bonding right back out.
Okay.
But another set of operating, maintaining, delivering, and manufacturing, and possession of meth. So I was arrested on 6 felony charges altogether.
2 separate cases.
2 separate cases.
That's the bad part.
Yes.
That's the bad part.
So going through the court system, going through it with my charges, with CPS, like, you name it, I'm going through it. I was at my dad's house. Matt was over visiting. Long story short, like, it was a family affair, the dope game. It It was more than just us, me and Matt. It was the whole family.
Yeah. Yeah.
His mom, his sister, his brothers, like you name it, they were doing it. We got raided. The sister got raided. The mom got raided. The brother got raided. The other brother got pulled over. Had heroin on him. The cops took the camera out to take pictures, evidence of the heroin underneath the floorboard. To this day, we will never know what happened because he has since passed. Scotty did something and distracted the cops. The cops left the camera on the floorboard of this car and took Scotty to jail. The car that it belonged to, the person that it belonged to, started blowing up my phone like, you have to come to my house. You have to come see this. And I'm like, Sarah, what do you want?
No
like,
way.
I'm not coming. Like, you're still using, I'm going through all, she's like, Kendra, I have all your evidence. And I'm like, bitch, no, you don't. Go over to her house. She slides the SD card into the camera. Shit, you not. Pictures. My license, Matt's license, all the bottles, all the trash. Like, you name it, it was there. And I'm like, I'm taking this.
Yeah.
Go home. I'm like, Dad, you'll never believe what I... And he's like, get rid of that shit.
Yeah.
So I cut it up into a bunch of little pieces, buried it.
Crush it. Yep.
You'll never find it.
Yep.
Go back into court. Like a week and a half later, my lawyer pulls me out because, like, you walk in, there's a glass booth, and then you walk in.
Yep.
He pulls me into the glass booth part, and he's like, something really weird happened, but the police lost all your evidence. We can't take this to trial, so this is what we're going to offer you.
What was the offer?
Misdemeanor use of a controlled substance.
You're shitting me.
I'm like,
Period?
Period.
Well, that's it. One misdemeanor.
One misdemeanor charge.
Oh my God.
Matt got a felony possession, because they were trying to hit me with an extra felony for possession for a bag of residue they found at the apartment. And Matt was like, no, that's mine.
He took it.
So he took that charge, and I got
The misdemeanor.
the misdemeanor.
Wow.
I did like 3 weeks in jail.
But you could have done...
Years.
Yeah. I mean,
Years.
you could have done a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
And
Holy shit.
it's crazy.
Crazy.
So I go to jail for 3 weeks. I do my time. Mind you, I'm like buku pregnant now. Like,
Again,
I was sentenced in September. He was born in October. So I was like 8.
So what was the final sentence? What did they give you? What was the final...
It was like 21 days in jail with like a week served. Good time. I didn't do long in jail at all.
They gave you like 20 some day.
If that, because good time every 7 days you get a day of good time or something.
Damn, it's not bad.
I got off. I got lucky, very lucky.
That's not even the word to use. I mean, it's much more. Yeah, it's God moment. That's insane.
So, all that happens. Get the misdemeanor charge. I'm doing really good. CPS still.
So are you deciding to get clean yet? Are you thinking about
it? Yes. I'm thinking about getting clean because I want to get my kids back, and I'm pregnant. So once I had gotten out of jail, I never used meth again. Part of it being I was pregnant. I quit smoking cigarettes, everything when I was pregnant. I would light up a cigarette and my dad would be like, your baby can't breathe. Like, you're choking your baby. And you can't smoke a cigarette when your dad's saying that to you.
Yeah.
So, no, I was good in my pregnancy. Had Easton, my youngest. He was 4 days old. CPS starts knocking on my door.
God bless.
Oh, wait. I have to back up because the whole time we get raided, the kids go back into foster care. They end up terminating my rights to my twins. So I was getting supervised visits with them. I released my rights to my oldest son so he could be adopted by my aunt.
Okay.
And then my mom fought to get my twins. So they have been adopted by my mom.
Okay.
I get the call. I was getting ready to go visit them for one of my supervised visits. And my caseworker calls me and is like, the judge decided to terminate your rights. You can no longer see your children.
Damn.
And I start bawling. Like, my world's crumbling down.
Yep.
Have to explain it to them. Like, I can't see him, but you guys can still see him. My mom had to keep him away from me because I was a danger to my own children. So...
And I think that's a fair assessment at that point.
Yes.
Because what evidence does anybody have that it's going to be different this time?
None. So, I'm pregnant with Easton. I'm sober. I have him in a different town than Hillsdale because I didn't want to deal with Hillsdale's CPS. Like, I didn't want him coming to the hospital and taking my kid. So, I had him in Adrian. He was born 8 pounds, 4 ounces, completely healthy.
That's great.
Amazing little boy. 4 days old, CPS is knocking on my door. They ran my social security number through a system that they had and seen that I had my son and wanted to do a well checkup or whatever they're called.
Yeah, wellness check.
So CPS and the cops show up with a removal order. Like, before they even questioned me, they had it all. Like, nope, they were coming. They took my son. I even took a drug test for him, passed the drug test, went into court like, I've been sober. Like, what the hell's going on? You're really going to take him? Because I did not have his meconium tested to prove that I was sober during the pregnancy. They removed him from my care.
They really dug deep for that one.
Yes. So I went through CPS's family treatment courts, like drug court.
Okay.
Did all that, stayed sober, graduated.
And those are a beast.
Yes.
That's what I did. I did drug court too. And
so I was the first and still maybe the only one to graduate with 100% of the program. I never missed anything, never failed a drug test, nothing.
Good for you. It took me
like,
3.5 years.
Straight and narrow on that shit.
And a prison stint.
Yeah.
I was not perfect. It was not a perfect child. Not me.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, right.
So I'm doing good.
Lab.
Going through all that. Buy a house. Like, and then Matt and I, we break up because he relapses. And I'm like, no, I actually chased him out of my apartment the day I found out that he relapsed because I had gotten my son back. Like, no, we're not doing this. Stay away from me if you're going to get high.
Yeah, please.
So I'm doing really good. Working, supporting my kid. I have Easton full time. Then I get a job working third shift. Raising a kid by yourself, it becomes a lot. So he would stay with my aunt during the night while I was at work, and then on the way home I would pick him up from daycare and get a couple hours of sleep and go back to work and do it all over. Like, it was not a good situation. Long
Tough.
Story short, it was a hard job, and the faster you worked, the more you got paid. It was a piece rate shop. So you could earn up to 180% in one day, which means you could work 10 hours and get paid for 18.
Whoa.
So I was making bank.
Yeah.
But I was also very extremely tired, and that turned into me hanging out with the rowdy crowd, me starting, what did I relapse on first? Adderall? And it was
Naturally, that makes perfect sense to me, yeah.
Yep, downhill from there.
This is not a prescription.
No,
right?
not a prescription.
Gotcha. You sought this out, yeah.
It got bad to the point where I was taking like 10 30s a day, drinking 4 Red Bulls, not giving a shit.
Jesus.
And then that turned into Coke.
Wow.
So I was sober 5 years and relapsed on Adderall and Coke. And that turned into a whole new whirlwind of adventures.
5 years you'd strung together.
And
you probably had a pretty good life. It was probably pretty well set up, and
I had a nice car, had a nice house.
Yeah.
Like, I had good credit score, you name it.
Credit cards, yeah.
Now, that's not the case. But so I relapsed on Coke and Adderall, and that turned into a couple ball a day habit. COVID hit.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Then you're just getting all this money on top of, yeah.
Dude, I was living the life. Buying Jeeps here and there. Like, going out to Bundy, which is an off-road camp. Like, you name it. Going on like, I bought my ex a Harley. Like, you name it. We had COVID money. We were living it up.
Yeah.
Stupid. It was stupid. All the things I could have bought with that money. And I chose to buy drugs.
Yeah.
So I meet this one guy, start dating him, end up moving down to Fremont. We're bad into Adderall, Coke together. I start sending my youngest son up to my aunt's house because, I didn't want him to be involved in what we were doing. So that turned into me releasing guardianship because I was getting high. Again,
You chose to do that.
I chose to get high over being a mom. So I used for a couple years Coke and Adderall.
Damn. That's a long relapse.
It was a long relapse, and it was a hard relapse. I almost lost my house. I signed over custody of my son in lieu of them not calling CPS again because they knew I was using. Even after losing everything, I still went back to it.
Yeah,
I wasn't done.
Yeah, the whole lab thing and the evidence thing, I mean...
You would think that would be my eye-opener. Yep. And it was for a while. But then it looked fun again. I don't know what it is, but...
You just forget the bad so fast.
Yes.
So fast.
And being 5 years clean now, I'm still dealing with the effects. Just in September, I released my rights to my youngest son so he can be adopted by my aunt, who he's lived with pretty much his whole life because of my drug abuse.
Yeah.
So even though...
There's still consequences, even though you've gotten sober, yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. And if I could go back, I would change it, but you can't. So you just live and you learn. And that's where I am today. I live in Adrian. I don't have shit. I have an apartment. But my credit's shitty. I maxed out credit cards when I relapsed on Coke. It was crazy. Crazy. Yeah. Now I'm in debt. Don't own my house.
Damn.
All over.
And you're sober and you got to do it.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt in my mind that...
That's the thing. And it's you get sober and it fucking sucks.
It does suck.
It's so hard to do.
And then your mental health issues come out when you're sober.
Yep. And then you have to deal with your life that was fucked up previously from you getting fucked up.
And then you have to deal with all your childhood trauma too.
Yeah. Everything. All that you have to deal with.
And if you don't deal with it, you're just going to relapse.
Go right back.
So that's what I've been doing. I've been religiously in counseling since I stopped using again. Working on the past trauma, because my mom and I were still not close. She has custody of my twins, and it's just toxic still to this day. Very controlling.
You just got to think of all that time you spent running and ripping and running.
And she's very mad at me, and I get it. She has a lot, and her life was flipped upside down when she took in my kids. But, doing the drugs, I lost everything.
Yeah.
I lost, and most importantly, my kids. And it's stuff that I'll never get back. It's stuff that they have to live with the rest of their life. I talk to them and I tell my twins, you're getting to the age going into middle school, kids are going to start offering you stuff. They're going to ask you to smoke. They're going to ask you to drink. You got to remember, mom and dad were addicts. It'll affect you different.
It's exactly what I tell the 8th graders when I just spoke at the middle school the other day.
Yep.
And it's exactly what I tell them is just be honest. You got to be honest about it, because you can die.
Yeah.
And it's real.
And I've always been very honest with my children. They know mom had a drug problem. They know they've been through it with me. The whole time I was using Coke and Adderall, I was getting my twins on the weekend. I had Xavier down visiting. My kids, they've been through it. So did I deserve to lose them? Yeah, because I was putting them in situations I should have never put them in.
Right.
But it sucks. It really does because...
But if you keep going, you will...
Oh, yeah.
You will get there.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my
mind. I'll never be able to get custody of my kids again. But they will always know that I'm mom. My oldest has a hard time. He has a lot of anger towards me, so it's hit and miss with him. But I think the older he gets and the more he realizes like what I've gone through and understands, I think he'll come around. I can only hope.
Yep.
But he's an amazing kid, plays football. Like, my aunt has given them the life that I would not be able to give them.
Yeah, you're lucky for that.
And I'm very lucky for that. Yeah. All my kids, they have a great life.
Foster care can be a nightmare sometimes.
Yes. And I got very lucky when they were in foster care. It was one of the local pharmacists. It was her family, so they got a great foster care. I got very, very lucky.
Yeah.
And looking back at it now, like, all the times the cops pulled me over, all the times CPS was beating on my door, it wasn't them being assholes. Like,
they're doing a job.
They were doing their job. They were trying to get me help. I remember one time I got caught with a roach. My ex-boyfriend at the time, he smoked. I was sober. I was taking drug tests for CPS on a color call system, and I had gotten pulled over taking a drug test, and they had found a roach in my passenger side door. And the cop was like, here's what I'll do. I'll give you a deal. You give me an arrest leading to dealing with narcotics in the next 2 weeks, you can go. I said, so I get to go home right now? He's like, yeah. I'm like, run it. Let's go. Go to my dad's house, and I tell my dad, like, he just caught me with a joint, but he didn't arrest me. He wants me to narc on people. What do I do? Like, I'm not narking on anybody, but he can't take me to jail, right? Like, he let me go.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, he was beating on the door, trying to arrest me for possession of fucking marijuana. Like, really?
Yeah, give me a break.
And I had just picked up my drug test, and my dad was pissed. Like, he looked at the cop. He's like, why are you harassing my daughter? Blah, blah, blah. He's like throwing the drug test. Like, here's the proof she was using. Now she's clean, and you still won't leave her alone.
Yeah.
And he takes me to jail. And he's like,
what a prick.
He takes me to jail.
Wow.
And as he's booking me in, he's like, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. Why didn't you just help me out? I said, you were asking me to put myself back in a situation.
Danger. Yeah, what are you talking about?
That I just got myself out of. And he's like, I respect that. And then he went on to talk to my dad. And lo and behold, his mom was actually a meth head. And he said, seeing me doing what I was doing to my kids really hit home for him. So it's not that he was picking on me. He was, but he was doing it because he wanted to help me. Everything that I went through, it was just people wanting to help me. And it was me not wanting.
Yeah.
I didn't want the help at all. At all.
You need it. You cannot do it alone.
No, I've never done the 12 steps completely. I was big into Celebrate Recovery.
Okay.
And then Smart Recovery, which is a 4-step program.
Yep.
I was big into that, but other than that, like
What would you tell our viewers who are still struggling right now? What would you say to one of them watching?
That it's never too late. That it's never too late to stop. And, like, each second is a brand new start to a new day. So you may get high, a second later not want to get high, you can change. Like, it doesn't matter. If you want to change, you can change. And it's worth it once you do.
It is. Well, thank you so much for coming out. That was amazing. Shocking, everything. And I know that you'll keep on the straight and narrow.
Oh, yeah.
And your kids will be in your life in a way that you want them
Oh, yeah.
to.
I have, like, the best life. I'm married. We have custody of my stepson full time.
Yeah.
I got a good job. My husband's got a good job.
It'll get better, I promise.
Like, we love it.
It's good.
Love the life that I live right now.
Thank you for making the trip out here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.